Are there going to be people asking questions?
Yeah, live now. Hello everyone,
Okay.
this is Pradeep from Armwrestling News, and today we have a very special guest with us. We are going to discuss King of the Table tournament and future events with Mr. Adam Silver. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine. I'm very happy. Actually, I wanted you to be on my channel. I was just looking for the right moment, and it is unfortunate I didn't ask you before this King of the Table tournament. So thank you for being on this
No
channel.
worries. No worries. No worries at all. Yeah.
So before we discuss the King of the Table tournament, I would like you to give a brief introduction about you. Like when did you start arm wrestling? When did you stop arm wrestling? And when did you got back into arm wrestling?
So I actually started arm wrestling back in 1991. So I did it from 91 to 97. And basically, I got into it just because I used to be like good in high school and, beating kids at the lunch table. I was a pretty strong kid. And when I got to college, I went to the University of Maryland. I saw a poster for an arm wrestling competition in Maryland, and so in the U.S. And so I decided to go ahead and I'd missed the competition, unfortunately, but I found out who's promoting it, and then basically got into a little arm wrestling club up in Maryland, and started doing that for a little bit, and eventually started to train with Dave Patton, who is basically a world champion arm wrestler, many-time world champion, who lives in Virginia. And so I used to practice with him every week. And I used to occasionally would see Travis Bagent. He would come over to our practice from West Virginia. And I got to a pretty good level where I won the New York States in 1997, which was pretty high level because New York was a very good arm wrestling state. But I was very strong for my body weight. So I was like a big bench presser. And probably by that time, I was benching almost 500 pounds, so about 230 kilograms. And I weighed probably about 82 to 83 or 84 kilograms at that time. So, yeah.
That's a scary number. Like I don't know what the world records are, but it's somewhere. It must be somewhere in that range. 80,
Well,
85 kilos,
the
500
the
pounds.
the problem back then was I was just getting into the whole powerlifting scene. I was a good bench presser. Like when I was 20 years old, I had already bench pressed 180, 183, and I weighed around 74 kilograms. Now, they were using a lot of equipment back then, bench press shirts and stuff like that. And I tried it, but I didn't like it at all because it like really hurt, really digs into your like armpits and stuff. And I hated it. So I never liked to use the equipment. I just used a weight belt. And I was considered a bench press specialist. I was good at bench, and then I sucked at the other lifts. So I never worked legs. I never trained legs. Like my best squat, I think back then was like 180 kilos for like a few reps. And that probably wasn't even to the proper depth, you know? So I was just big bench, big arms, big back. That was about it.
Strong man. Marcus
Yeah.
Kigera with a 75 dirham super chat. Love you, Adam. Thanks for everything.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And Lagia is saying, Adam, this one is for $10,000 silver.
Making fun of me at the practices sometimes. I'll do
Yeah,
that. I'll scream out, "It's 10,000 dirhams!" Let's do it.
right. People want you versus Levan in the in the chat. I don't know.
I will destroy Levon. He's nothing. Oh God. I do like when Levon and Irakli are here. They're great guys. Crazy. They're so strong. It's ridiculous. Like Irakli is just like an anomaly just because he's so strong for his body weight. Like he can actually like do some stuff with Levon. It's not like, Levon just destroys him.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Yeah, it can be because he's his training partner, so he knows
Yeah,
some stuff that others don't. Because
that is true.
someone who's not a training partner and who's at Irakli's level wouldn't be able to do anything with Levan.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, before we talk about King of the Table tournament, I'd like to let you know about a funny incident, like the first interaction that Adam Silver and I had. I'm not sure if Adam remembers it or not, but I
I think
remember
I
it.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was when I just started YouTube, like maybe it was my second month into YouTube. Nobody really knew who I was. And I messaged Larry Wheels and I asked him when Devon visited Dubai for the first time. I think it was mid of 2020. I think it was. So I asked Larry, brother, can I make a highlight video, like take clips and make one video from all of the all of the matches, all of the videos on your channel? And Larry was like, Larry is the coolest guy. He's like, okay, go ahead, no problem. And this is something that we did not discuss with you. Of course, Larry is not looking after everything in the channel, and
Right.
you
Yeah.
were not aware of this situation. So Adam removed that channel, and I got in contact with Larry, and Larry was so genuine. I Nobody really knew. Like still, if we talk about Larry Wheels, nobody really knows me even now. But back then, I was
Mm,
even more smaller, and Larry was
yeah.
kind enough to call Adam Silver, and he removed this strike. And at that time, I was like, brother, one day, like this is not a good interaction, but one day, hopefully, we two will be working together. And here we are. Good.
Yep.
Not the best
Definitely.
start, but moving forward in the right
Uh,
direction.
it happens. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, first of all, tell us what was the idea behind that King of the Table tournament? How did it start?
Look. So King of the Table, of course, when you're doing a pay-per-view, you only have so much time. Now, we basically would normally have three main matches for King of the Table, and now we have maybe 4 to 5. So, but obviously it's a lot of big guys, and so other guys wanted to know how they could get into it. How smaller guys, lightweights, could they, arm wrestle? And I was like, of course, we got to try and get a mix of weight classes in there. Obviously, there's great people that are in the lighter weight classes, like Bojidar is a great example, world champion guy, amazing, amazing athlete. And so basically, we wanted to, and also the other thing is that when you're selling a pay per view, um, it, you know, there has to be a little bit of name recognition. And unfortunately for arm wrestlers, a lot of arm wrestlers, amazing arm wrestlers, they don't have a lot of name recognition because they're not big on social media,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate. So we wanted to give people a way in. So we figured let's, maybe put on this like international tournament. We'll start it small, just a couple weight classes, and just kind of see how it goes. And that's kind of how it came to be. And so now the two top, the winner from the heavyweight and the winner of the lightweight both get to go to King of the Table.
Yeah. So, how are
So
you going to find the opponents for these winners? Like the winner that they are going to pull, is he going to be a big name, like a big social media name? Because otherwise, he also should have to qualify for this. The only thing that makes sense right now is that the other guy is going to be a known name.
right, yeah, I mean that's actually most likely what would happen. So it's very true. Somebody that is more of a no name, and it basically helps. It helps everybody, but the guy that, for instance, our lightweight winner, Svetin,
Yeah.
who is, I believe, 52 years old, actually. I'm 51. He's 52, and
Mm.
just an incredible athlete. But he's really not that well known in the general public. He's known in arm wrestling circles. So now he's going to have an opportunity to kind of expand his horizons a bit and, get a lot more exposure. And that's kind of one of the purposes that Larry and I have. If you followed Larry and I through our journey, we've been working together for 7 years now, and it's been, I think, over 4 years full time. And one of the things that Larry, as a big influencer, does different than other influencers is that we will often bring people onto our social media channels, our YouTube, that don't have a big following,
Mm.
but there's something special about them. Maybe they're a great bodybuilder, super shredded, but nobody knows the person's name, or super strong, crazy freak bench presser that can bench press 300 something kilos. So we want to give people an opportunity to get some exposure
Sorry,
that
brother.
otherwise don't have it.
I'd like to cut you off. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
And one more example could be who's an arm wrestler like Rahul Panekar. Like
Yeah, Raul.
he got the opportunity there, and he was lucky that and like not only lucky, he was strong also that he won that match. And see how much
Yes.
exposure that thing gave him in India, and he's like now killing it with the sponsors and everything. Like life is
Yeah.
going good for Rahul now.
Yeah. And we absolutely love Raul. He is truly one of the nicest guys. We are happy that we were able to help somebody like him because he truly deserves it. Not only is he a great athlete, he's just a great human. And we like to help those people. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you start StrengthNet, your YouTube channel, your brand? Like what was the idea behind it, and what how are
Okay.
you working on it currently?
So I haven't really worked very much on StrengthNet at all for like the past 3.5 years. Kind of let it die away a little bit. I'm going to try and get it back a little bit. But originally, when it started, at the same time, I had a talent agency for athletes in New York City, and what I did with and I had like a video background, but I also had background in talent. I started working with the NPC and IBB Pro League backstage at a lot of their competitions, working as a videographer and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'd like to showcase like some freaks. Some, I've been into powerlifting for many years, and powerlifters more would look like me. But there are those freaks out there that are super shredded bodybuilders that are really strong.
Yeah.
And so that's how StrengthNet was born. I found these crazy people and people just loved it. And then, I did the arm wrestling thing back in like 2011, I think, with two bodybuilders. And that video went viral. These two monster bodybuilders. It was crazy. And then I kept doing it and more, it kept going viral again and again and again. And look, Larry Wheels kind of fits into the whole ripped up, super strong, freakazoid, you know what I mean? So we were meant to be together, I guess.
Yeah. Mhm. So how do you see the importance of super matches and tournaments? Like what are the purposes that these two formats are serving in your opinion? Because
Hmm.
let's say till 2019 everything, almost everything was about tournaments. Maybe
Yeah.
2018, because 2018 and 19 WL did really good with super matches. Till 2018 everything was about tournaments only, and now everything is about super matches. Some people are saying when we talk about tournament matches, yes, Vitali lost to Zaur, but everyone is saying no, tournaments don't mean anything. And I'm like, tournaments were deciding rankings for decades
Yeah.
now, and in
Yeah.
every single sport tournaments are the one that are deciding
Yes.
the ranking, so we just cannot
Yes.
rule them out. So what importance or gap you felt that can only be filled by tournament format?
Yeah. So look, I think super matches are great for these like pay-per-views and stuff like that. I think the tournaments are really where you find the top talent. Um, that's where you kind of see who the next up and coming athlete is going to be going through a tournament. So tournaments are also not that exciting. They can be exciting, but the thing is the tournaments can be long, and there's only going to be certain matches that are real exciting. Whereas when you get the super matches, that's really more great. That's great for more of a pay-per-view format, or even just a broadcast format. Doesn't Not everything has to be pay-per-view. We are going to be working on getting different kinds of um, networks and stuff to go ahead and sign on to maybe broadcast some of this stuff. So we'll see, because it's been done in the past. But I think there's in terms of the whole super match format for us and the tournament format, I see the tournaments feeding the super matches. So finding people like Sabin, who won the heavyweight division, and Svetin, who won the lightweight division, getting those people involved. Doing that tournament first was great to get sort out who's going to be great. The other thing is that it's not always going to be a the first place guy that's going to get to King of the Table. We can pick anybody. I can pick anybody. I'm, the founding member, and if I want somebody to arm wrestle, I'm going to have them do it. Bojidar came in second. Maybe Bojidar is coming back to King of the Table. Who knows? I'm not saying he is or he isn't. Bojidar, don't get too excited. But but I'm just saying that, the tournaments are, I think, a great way to kind of scout talent.
So one question that I had, there is one class 85 and below. So Svetan won 85 class. So his opponent is also going to be at that same weight. Is it a necessity, or you are up to accepting different things? Like if the opponent is slightly heavier, but you think it is a close match, it may happen.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be the same weight. And as long as both opponents agree to whatever, like let's say Svetan is 80 kilos and the other guy is 95 kilos. Maybe they'll agree to be like, okay, the 95 kilo guy needs to drop down a little bit. Or they may just say, fine. There's some small guys that are just insane arm wrestlers that kick everybody's ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see that every now and then too.
So tell us something about the tournament. What were the great moments from the tournament? What were some unexpected, shocking results in your opinion? Like I saw some matches. First of all, like Svetan beating Bojidar, that was unexpected for many people. Like what were your best moments from the tournament?
I thought obviously that was one of the best matches. It was, Bojidar I know a lot more about than Svetan, and Bojidar I know has great endurance, but so does Svetan. And so it was really interesting to watch those two go at it, because also I know how strong Bojidar is. That one was definitely, in my eyes, probably one of the best. One of the other best ones I really liked was actually Larry versus Sabin.
Yeah.
It was unexpected.
Unexpected.
So, very much so. Larry putting up as good a fight as he did, it was pretty surprising to me. So yeah, I would say those were really good highlights. Just also some of these other athletes, I'm having a brain fart on some names and I don't have my list up here right now. We had a Georgian that was absolutely amazing, super strong.
In the super heavy, or
no, in the lightweights.
In lightweights, okay.
Yeah. We had a lot of really great lightweights. So, some of the super heavyweights were amazing too. People that I had never seen before. Definitely Ehsan from Iran. He was incredible. Yeah, big boy, 180 kilos.
Yeah, people were asking about him in the chat, like, who is this big guy? He's bigger than Levan.
Yeah, he's bigger than Levan, and it's like, where did this guy come from? And it's just, it's really quite insane. So
I think, Adam, the main effect that you are going to see is when the winners of this tournament actually step up to the table on King of the Table platform. This is when people are going to take it seriously. Yes, that this moment can probably change our career, and more people are going to sign up next time. How many people did join this tournament this time?
We had, I think, 31 athletes for this one. So, and look, part of the problem though, unfortunately, so we were contracted to have this arm wrestling competition at the Dubai Muscle Show, which is a great platform. It's a huge expo, 3 days. So that was amazing, and it got tons of exposure. The unfortunate thing was WAF Worlds was the week before. So I think that, a lot of athletes did contact me and they're like, we would love to do it. I'd love to do it, but I'm spending so much money out here in, Turkey right now, and I can't afford to do both tournaments. And, so that was a tough thing to do, but we just wanted to at least get it started. So we were happy with that. What I was very happy with was the athletes were, they were happy about the tournament itself and how it worked and how it was run. So that made me feel good too, made them happy. So.
Yeah. And Khaled Jashel also competed. You're going to release the footage on Larry Wheel's channel. When can we expect to see the matches?
40 minutes away, it will launch.
Yeah. Only 40 minutes
Mhm.
away, guys. On Larry Wheel's YouTube channel, you will see the full tournament. Is it a single video or?
It is one video, single tournament.
All right. All right.
Yep,
Single.
one video.
One
Hmm.
video. So how did Khalid do? We saw him beat Larry pretty easily. So was that match after Larry had a war with Sabin or before
Yeah,
that?
I think that was after Larry had that war. Um, and then yeah, I don't have my list up here right now, unfortunately. I wish I did. I was in a rush. But so Khalid, I think still, I mean, if you ask Larry, Khalid is still gonna pretty much beat Larry pretty easily at this point. But I think, Larry he's working really, really hard right now. So it used to be that Larry would come to practice here and there, and he was always focused on, whether it's strongman or a powerlifting thing. And the training for arm wrestling wasn't as important. It didn't happen for him. Now he's training all the time. So I think a lot of things are going to change for him. And we can see that his strategy is getting better. His table IQ, stuff like that is getting better, and his strength in certain areas that he needed to truly work on is starting to improve right now. Yeah.
Mhm. So Adam, I would say two comments about super matches that I've got most on my channel are Pradeep versus Rebecca Todd, and second one is Pradeep versus Adam Silver. And I'm like,
Really?
there is a big gap between these two,
Yeah.
and I may fit
I will
somewhere in
I will
between.
fuck you up, bro. I
I
would
was saying
smash you.
like I have no chance against Adam, but when I saw that you had that surgery on that left arm, because I have similar surgery on my right shoulder, and my left is
Okay.
actually a little bit stronger. And then I was like,
Okay.
now left-handed, we are getting in that range. If I train for a few months or maybe in a year, maybe I can crack Adam Silver left-handed.
I
But
think lefty,
right,
I
I
think
got
you
no chance.
could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
lefty you could.
I got no chance. You had the same rotator cuff surgery or?
Twice. Yeah. That was stupid. I had an ATV accident 2 years ago. Flipped an ATV over in the desert, put my arm out, and tore the infraspinatus muscle from the bone, which is one of the rotator cuff muscles.
Yeah.
Um, and then got back into rehab, started training again, got too strong too quickly, tore it again, but ended up also my neck. I have neck issues, and a pinched nerve down into my left biceps made it very, very weak. So I had to have neck surgery and shoulder surgery in March. So
Hmm.
I'm rehabbing from that.
So did
We'll
you
see.
actually like dislocate the shoulder or was it just a tear?
It was just the muscle tear. Yeah.
Okay.
Just the
My
tendon
shoulder,
tearing from the bone.
like before I had a surgery, in last 7 8 years, it probably dislocated like 10 12 times at least.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, and whenever I was playing some kind of sports or anything like in that overhead stretched moment, it got dislocated really easily. But I was happy before
That's
that. The
terrible, dude.
surgery made it kind of worse. Now it hurts like every time. Like
Oh,
it has
geez.
made it
That's,
worse. And it's been
yeah, that
more
sucks.
than 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was
Man.
pretty bad, pretty bad. And now I cannot do
Yeah.
anything. Like literally cannot do anything.
No.
I have to be like really, really careful. Like if it gets dislocated
Mm.
again, it has not been dislocated because I'm being extra careful with the activities
Yeah,
I
that
can or
sucks.
cannot do.
Mm.
But it's a part. No.
Anyway,
So,
yeah.
King of the Table and Core Sports, like
Mhm.
what is the relation between two? Like I know, like one of them are broadcasters, and you have the brand, you organize super matches. But for a
Yeah.
layman who is just
How does it
following
all
up the
work
same,
out? Yeah.
like yeah, they kind of get confused. They think it is the same thing.
We actually kind of make fun of you a little bit because a while back, this has to be maybe a couple of years, when we first started it, you were like, Atom Silver, the CEO of Core Sports. I'm not the CEO of Core Sports. So Don Idris is. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. Don's like, oh, so you're the CEO now, huh? Right? No, so, Larry and I came up with the idea for King of the Table. It was mostly my idea, but Larry was super involved in this, and um, Don is our production partner, Core Sports. So they basically were doing strongman competitions and you know um, I actually did help him with live streaming during the pandemic when we were all locked down. And but we came up with this idea for doing King of the Table, and he is a great partner for this. Production wise, they do a great job, the whole team, and I'm friends with everybody on the team. So it works out. Obviously, core sports, we also run East versus West.
Mhm. Yeah. So I've noticed one thing, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, that I've seen Larry promote the cards really hard when he was actually competing on those cards. Like on every video, after every video, he'll be like, guys, King of the Table is on that date and link is in the description. But when Larry didn't compete, like that frequency kind of dropped. So, like, what is your and Larry's involvement in a King of the Table card where Larry is not actually pulling?
Yeah, so that Larry just was not as promoting it as much as he should have. So next one, even if he's not on it, you'll see a lot more of Larry. You'll see a lot more of Larry in there. So
All right.
yeah, I wouldn't read too much into that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So,
Mhm.
what does Adam Silver have to, or what you can teach arm wrestling community about social media, especially about YouTube, because you have been doing this stuff for
Mhm.
a very long time. What are
Yeah.
the arm wrestling YouTubers doing incorrectly? Something
Hmm.
that they can improve upon.
Incorrectly. Interesting. I think they've corrected a lot of stuff over the past couple of years. So really, I think it's been nice to see a lot of the arm wrestling community YouTubers kind of come together, and in a sense, they all work together. They all work together with us when it comes to putting out a pay-per-view. They're pretty good about like not stealing our stuff right away. You know what I mean? We got to make pay-per-view sales so we can actually pay the athletes and actually make money. But we also like to give back to the community, and we feel like we are actually giving a lot of people a new business. You know, I'm sure that when we started up and we started to do these amazing pay-per-views, that a lot of people are now making a lot more money on YouTube because of that, whether it's Ryan Bowen or
Me.
you, yeah, uh, and it's cool. We're happy with that. We want to not only increase the involvement of athletes in arm wrestling, but also the community as a whole. Whether it's people that are covering the athletes and the events like you, or other people like Neil that are actually putting on their own events, Arm Wars, which is great. Engin, who puts on East versus West, and he puts together some of the best, cards. So I think we can all work together and all, do well, all make money, all advance the sport, get exposure for these unknown arm wrestlers that are incredible, just absolutely incredible. They come out of the woodwork and you're like, where did this guy come from? I never heard of him before. You know,
Mhm.
just because they suck at social media.
Yeah.
That's the only real reason.
And Adam, I think the good thing about arm wrestling social media, especially YouTube community, is that, and this is because arm wrestling is even now a very small sport. Arm wrestling YouTubers tend to
Yeah.
mature at 1000 or 2000 subscribers. Like if an arm wrestling YouTuber has a couple of thousand subscribers, he's now mature. Before that, he'd be stealing
Right.
videos, putting stuff on his channel. Even if he
Right.
has
Yeah.
2000 subscribers, he gets recognized even amongst some of the great athletes just with a couple of thousand subscribers, and now he
Right.
feels that responsibility, and suddenly
Yeah.
everyone stops using those footages. I think we are living
Yeah.
in a good phase where this is happening, like where
Yeah.
when I started with a few thousand subscribers, I can get in touch with Engin Terzi, with Devon Lett, just because we're lucky in this phase. And a few years
Mhm.
from now, I don't think it will be possible.
That is likely the case. Yeah, the sport will grow, and I think that it's on the verge of potentially exploding. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And if you remember
Yeah.
a few days ago, I asked you about who is making thumbnails on Larry's channel. I'm not going to ask that question here, but I wanted to talk with you about this topic. I've noticed one thing, and maybe you will agree with me. Arm wrestling videos, in the videos in which there is an actual arm wrestling match, I've done a lot of study on this. I've watched maybe hundreds of videos. You need to do absolutely zero editing on a thumbnail in which there is an actual match, and that video gets the most number of views. I've seen this trend, like you just post the photo of a match, and that video, maybe you can just type arm wrestling and search with view count all time, and I think I can guarantee you the top probably 100 videos that you're going to see on the internet, they will have absolutely zero editing on a thumbnail. And all of
Yeah, right.
all other videos, like if it is a workout video, training video, Larry is talking with someone, editing a perfect thumbnail makes a lot of sense. But I've seen as
Mhm.
soon as you do too much editing in an actual match footage, that
Yeah.
may be kind of, and of course, like this is my own observation. I've never discussed this topic with anyone else. Maybe if that interests you a little bit, you can do your own research on this. But I've noticed in
Hmm.
the same thing, like Larry Wheels versus Schoolboy matches. Larry had more subscribers even back then, I guess, and
Yeah.
Larry's video will get 3-4 million views. Schoolboy will not do any editing, just post the thumbnail as it is, and the video will go
Hmm.
probably 10, 15,
You know,
20 million views. And all of
that's not
the
really.
biggest
I was going to
example,
say.
Arm Wrestling
Okay.
TV, the biggest example, you will not see any editing on their thumbnail ever. And look at the views, how many views they're getting.
There's a bigger difference. It's not just about the thumbnail that's really attracting people. It is the way Alex markets the his channel. So
Mhm.
Alex is he actually works a lot on Facebook. So he is subscribed to, I think he said something like 50 or more groups on Facebook,
Okay.
and a lot of them are Russian based. So he is very active on all of those, making sure to get the word out about a new video that comes out. And I'm sure that if we looked at his analytics, a lot of his stuff's coming from Russia.
Mhm.
So that's definitely the case. You know, with his stuff, it's not really just about the thumbnail. Although we have learned a lot about doing thumbnails, and sometimes over editing it is not a good idea. We used to do that too much, and now
Mhm.
some of our thumbnails don't have any editing. Some have minimal. Sometimes we just kind of want uh, the people to pop a little bit. So yeah,
Right.
we've toned that down a bit. Yeah.
Mhm. Performance enhancing pancakes is saying, Pradeep, you're giving away the secret method.
Oh yeah.
Devil Raper is saying, Pradeep, can you please ask Adam if he'll do more tournaments like this one on the 28th in Dubai? We saw so many unknown names that were insane in those tournaments. We love you, Adam. That was hype.
Ah, thank you. And yes, more of these tournaments are coming. Absolutely, 100%. And maybe
Mhm.
not always Dubai. It may be other countries that we may do some of these tournaments. So,
And I want to discuss with you one topic that I've got a little bit heat on, and this is talking about Devon Lerett's YouTube channel. Do you think that
yeah.
Devon also needs someone like you who can take the channel to a next level? Whenever I mention this topic, everyone is like, no, we just want we like Devon's raw stuff. He just records and posts videos, and I'm like, quality can never hurt. Like in any sport,
Sure.
the top guy represents the community. Devon Laird is the top guy of our community. So 2-3 years
Yeah.
ago, when new bodybuilders are looking into our sport and other people are looking into our sport, what will they check? Okay, Devon Laird, this is the top guy. And when that channel is poorly managed, I think it is somewhat not a very good representation of the sport. If Devon's YouTube channel is managed by someone like you, do you think will it be beneficial for it, or people would say, nah, we just like the
You know,
yes.
that's a very good question. I kind of feel like, yeah, maybe it could make some gains with a little bit better management, but I kind of like the way Devin kind of does things. He'll wake up with his iPhone and just start recording. And sometimes that is very intimate. And so people kind of feel like they're right there with Devin. You know, with me and Larry, sometimes we'll do like videos like that. Larry will do a serious talking video, and then other times it's not as connected. And so maybe Devin is connecting with a lot of people, even though the production values aren't that great. The connection, the human connection, is very strong, and that's important.
But do you know any other sport where the top guy has no one else to work with? He just records and posts stuff. The strongman community, the bodybuilding community. Is there any channel like
Yeah.
that with 500,000 subscribers?
Uh, I can't think of that right now, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think so. But look, a lot of arm wrestlers are broke ass motherfuckers, and so oops, I totally just. By the way, I'm very politically incorrect. I'm really sorry.
Political
So
incorrectness. This
yeah.
is what I've been like revolving around this topic a lot. Like I've been called out. The one line that I really hate when someone says it, like Pradeep, by talking like this, you are burning your bridges with these organizers and other stuff. And I am like, if I am being a non-biased reporter, I think it is good if I like theoretically speaking, it is good if I don't need those bridges, because a reporter should not need those bridges. Like maybe I can get invited to Dubai by someone, by a friend. Maybe Engin Terzi invites me. This is all that a bridge can help me do. Like maybe I can do something there to help them work. So do you think speaking out your mind, if you think is correct, if you think you have done your study, and it may kind of hurt, I'm not sure if hurt is the correct word,
Hmm.
the promoters, do you think I've done something wrong with that, if you have watched enough of my
Hmm.
videos?
Maybe I haven't watched enough of your videos, but I don't think you have. Um, the thing is I'm a weird person because I am very politically incorrect. It's because I just say what I say. Sometimes I'm just joking around and I'll say something very inappropriate. Sometimes on our videos,
Hmm.
and then people get all up in arms about it. All of us guys at these arm wrestling practices, we all have a lot of fun and we all make fun of each other. So,
Hmm.
and sometimes it can be things that are very inappropriate to say, and I'll forget to edit it out, and it gets on there. And then the audience watching, they may not like understand the context or like what's going on in the background or how close of friends we are or whatever. And so they'll be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you just said that about so and so." It's just like, just relax, please. So yeah, I am who I am, and I'm not going to change.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you how it is. I'll give you an honest answer. If you want something like that, you'll get that from me. Maybe it's not the most pleasant thing, but I also want people to be honest with me too. Like when I had this competition, and I want people to tell me like what did I do wrong, and tell me what I did right, and be honest with me. That's the most important thing. That's how we kind of move forward.
Yeah. And with WHIS, he's saying the top three arm wrestling videos on YouTube with highest view count are from Stefania and Nawaz Sharif. They've been killing it with their shorts.
Yes, and I shot those videos actually. So
Great.
and I think the other one is, I think we still have them beat, me and Larry, with our one where he beats the five biggest arm wrestlers, or the five arm wrestlers in the gym, five biggest guys in the gym. I think it was like 230 million or something close to that. Yeah. And that was like a 30-second video. And Sharif's in it. Sharif was skinny then too. He was really skinny. He was the
Yeah.
referee. So
And
yeah.
we have Kamil Jablonski in the chat. Pradeep, please tell Adam that I would like to fight Sabin in King of the Table because I'm hungry after last competition. Kamil was
Okay.
in this
Who is that?
Kamil Jablonski. I think he competed in
Oh, Camille. Yeah, Camille.
Kamil. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Third,
Yes.
third on the
Yeah.
right
I
arm.
couldn't hear you because you broke up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
third on the
seen
right
Golden
arm.
Dragon Camille. Yeah, Camille's a great guy. I,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he's somebody that I think has just so much potential. Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
So what is
So
what is next for Adam Silver and King of the Table? Like what can we expect in the future? Like nearest thing before, like are we going to reveal any of the King of the Table matches? Like what can we expect?
yeah, I can't really say anything beyond what was said at the last King of the Table.
Maybe you can say how
You
many matches. Maybe you can say how many matches have already been scheduled, like the number.
looks like, well, I can't reveal that either. I don't think I should.
But why? But why? It
I
is
don't
just a
think I
number.
should.
It is just a number. It can
It's
go
just a
up.
number. Number's
Hopefully, it
just a
doesn't
number.
go down.
Yeah, it
If
could go up, could go right, exactly. But
Mm,
I can say that one match is definitely set,
So John
and the other
Brzezinski versus
ones,
Denis Siplenkov, that is.
I didn't say anything. I didn't see
Yeah.
you said that. I
Okay.
didn't say
Okay.
anything.
Okay. And next
You
one.
never know.
Mm,
But I can tell you that it's probably going to be. I thought the Levon and you know Devin match was obviously a huge pay-per-view. And then King of the Table 5 came along, and it was absolutely amazing. I think this next one is going to kind of blow the roof off.
mhm.
It's going to be insane.
So it is
So
going to be the
a
biggest
lot
king
of
of the
fun.
table. Biggest king of the table so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
And from
100%
what
will.
from what we have heard till now, like Khaled Joshel versus Ryan Bowen, I think that was almost confirmed by these two gentlemen that they are going to face each other if everything falls in place. We're going to discuss it here. John Brzezinski versus Denis Siplenkov, and from what we have heard, if Hermes Gasparini is able to crack Dave Chaffee, he may be going up against Levan Saginashvili as well on the February card. So I think these three are the matches. I can read Adam's mind right now.
All
This is
right.
what you're thinking about.
All right.
Okay,
Yes,
performance
that's what I'm
enhancing
thinking.
pancakes is saying, Pradeep, can you ask Adam if Levan finally stopped ducking him and pulls him? Okay, for once I thought it is a serious comment. Will Adam hold Levan for a second or break his arm immediately?
No.
Talking about
Yeah,
arm
I
breaks,
can't.
I think I heard there were a couple of them. Like what?
Yeah. So there were two arm breaks. One was we had closed our booth down, so everything was closed and we were packed up, and I was the last one there, about ready to go. And I heard a scream, and apparently two girls were on the arm wrestling table, unsupervised. They just went over
Mm,
to the arm wrestling table. We closed the booth, and one of them broke their arm. And yeah, that was quite a mess. But the second one was, as you know, Basil.
yeah, second time.
Yeah, second time. So Basil had told us that he was medically cleared
Mhm.
to arm wrestle, and he did arm wrestle in our amateur competition on October 1st, and he did fine.
Yeah,
Um,
the
but
next day I
this
think so.
apparent, yeah, but this particular his second arm break he had. What he didn't tell us was that the titanium rod was still in there. So I had no idea. I don't think that you're supposed to arm wrestle or anything with the rod in there. I think you're supposed to have that removed when the doctor feels like everything's healed up properly. And so
Mhm.
his bone break happened right below where the rod attaches.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. You
Yeah.
know.
Adam, you have been in lots and lots of tournament, both as a promoter, organizer, and as a competitor as well. Do big tournaments and big events have something like an ambulance or a medical facility? Like if it happens,
Yeah.
we can rush
Mhm.
you to a hospital or something?
Yeah.
Because in
So
pro in elite matches, you're not expecting that. So maybe they do not have any medical facility if that goes
yeah.
down.
Right. So basically, whenever we run King of the Table, we have paramedics. So we have an ambulance there because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, Vitali.
And
Vitali.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. If Vitaly was feeling really bad, and you just don't know what's going to happen. So, arm wrestling is very strenuous, and whether it's torn muscle, tendons, bones, or cardiovascular issues. So you have to have somebody there. So Dubai Muscle Show, you have a lot of medical personnel on staff, because there's a big bodybuilding competition, there's arm wrestling going on, there's other events. So there's weightlifting stuff. Yeah, you have to have it. And even if we run a show in America, we're going to have an ambulance there. You got to have it. It's an extra expense, but it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
You know.
And I kind of know that feeling, like when you have dislocated your shoulder, like I told you 10, 12 times I dislocated it. All of the times I was able to set it, like get back into the socket by myself. But there was one time where I couldn't do that, and I had to go to a hospital, and that took me like maybe a couple of hours. I was sitting like a dislocated shoulder. That was
Yeah.
really frustrating. After
Yeah.
some time the pain kind of goes away. You're like okay with it, you know it is happening. We have seen
Mhm.
arm wrestlers as well. They've broken their arm, they're holding it, and they're just laughing
Yeah.
and chatting with their friends after some time, because you know that it is not going to go away. But to
Yeah.
sit
Right.
there
Exactly.
kind of waiting for medical help, that is really frustrating. So I think
Yeah.
you're doing really good with that, the
Yeah.
paramedics thing.
Yeah.
So sis, I cannot even read your name. Kind of late, but it maybe it's already answered. But who will Sabin and Svetan's next opponents be? So Adam answered
Yeah.
that they've not. Maybe you have not figured it out yourself yet, because
No.
like the tournament just finished. So, but
Exactly.
when are they going to compete? Is it going to be at the next event or after
Yeah.
that?
Most likely King of the Table 6.
Okay, 6. Yeah. So not much time left. So they're going to get their opportunity as soon as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And thank you very much, Adam, for joining. And I'd ask you your final thoughts. But before that, guys, please subscribe to Adam's YouTube channel and follow Adam Silver on Instagram as well. StrengthNet is his page name. And thank you very much, brother. Any final comments for our viewers and for me, like tips for a younger brother?
Right. Well, I would just say that I'm trying. Me and Larry are trying to get as many people into arm wrestling as possible, and so we hope that if you can organize a group in your area or find a club that's close by, definitely give it a try. It's a lot of fun. I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir here because all you guys are into arm wrestling already. Yeah. So I hope you guys keep on training and getting stronger and competing. That's super important. Go into those competitions, get your name out there, and maybe you'll be on King of the Table someday. Who knows?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to end it here, but I just got another interesting question.
Okay.
Like what, like I'm quite sure you cannot lay it down in terms of points, like what do you exactly need to do, but what would be the criteria to be on a King of the Table card?
Okay. Be an elite level arm wrestler. That's important. It's not exactly important, but that's an important component. The other thing is to get your name out there on social media. So, and that could be obviously if you are a really good arm wrestler and you've done great things at, say, WAF or whatever organization you're working with, try and take those videos and put something together for yourself. Get your name out there and get some. If you're really good, also get some matches with top arm wrestlers that are close by. Maybe just training stuff. Working together with other people, collaborating is how you increase your social media. So if Larry were just to stay in a bubble and not collaborate with anybody, it would be hard for him to really grow very much, because you kind of need followers from somebody else to kind of start to follow Larry, and vice versa. So that's why collaborations work out so well. So same thing in arm wrestling. Get together with other arm wrestlers and collaborate.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Adam. Someone is asking, we want official footage of the tournament ASAP. Just 20 minutes remaining. Go to Larry's channel and you will see the footage there in 20 minutes. Thank you very much for joining, brother. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Anytime.